Hi crafters, I'm Robbie Susan Chandler from RobbieSusanCardsandCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. I'm here to share a project with you, so let's get started. I am so excited about sharing this Easter card with you. I think it's one of the cutest ones I've made. Let's take a look at it. Here's the front. It doesn't look like much there, does it? But let's open it up. Here's the fun part. Boom. It pops up and shows a little bunny inside. So when it's sitting down, it looks like this. Here's the base of it. This is what it looks like from the side. But there's that cute little bunny and the other two with him. And that folds down flat so you can put it in an envelope. So let me show you how I made this really cute card. Alright, let's start with some supplies. Here's the base. It's 11 by 4 1/4 inches. You score it at 5 1/2, and then you also score it 1 inch from the end. Now this would be the front. So you're going to score it 1 inch from the end of the front. You'll also need your designer paper, and you can pick 2 different designs. This paper I picked was from the Dainty Design Pack. That was a free celebration one, but any cute Easter paper will work. Both of them are 4 by 5 1/4. You'll also need a white strip, 2 3/4 by 6 inches, and this is what you'll be stamping your rabbits on. You'll also need a 2 2-inch strip to cut a circle out. You'll need some green DSP for your grass. So basically those are all your pieces. So let's start with our card. Start with our card base. And remember I said you want the score on the front. So we'll fold this in half. And then we're going to fold. Don't fold this piece yet until you have adhered this to it. So our next step is to adhere this to the front, and then on your inside piece you want to cut a circle out with one of your layering circle frames, right, say 3/4, 1/2 inch from the bottom. Save this piece because you're going to be using it again. So you're going to adhere this piece to the inside. You're also going to cut a white circle out of the same size circle layering circle framelit that you did the other circle. See, these are the same size, and stamp your cinnamon on it. Alright, I've already adhered those pieces. So here's the front, here's the inside, here's the circle with the cinnamon. And these 3 little flowers are from the Sentimental Part dies, which is also the die that I'm going to use on the front piece. So speaking of the front, let's do it real quick. What you'll need is a scrap piece big enough to cut this. And these papers I didn't mention, but this paper is Coastal Cabana. I use Coastal Cabana for all the base pieces. And that's cut with this die from Sentimental Park. Also in Sentimental Park is this die that's used to cut out this piece, which these two coordinate together, and they just slip inside there. Now I want to show you what I did. This is one piece that's just stamped and nothing done to it. But then here's another sentiment that I embossed with the crosshatch embossing folder. You tell me which one looks best. Personally, I prefer the embossing, but I just love embossing anyway. So this is one we're going to use. So I've got it right here, and let's wait and put it on last, but we've got it ready to put on. Okay, back to the inside. Now, you'll also need a piece of Coastal Cabana that's 4 1/4 by 6 1/2 inches, and you're going to score it 1 inch from each end. 1 inch from this end, 1 inch from that end. This center part you're going to cut out with any circle you could use or any wreath that you have, but I used the Irresistible Blooms, which is one of our online exclusive products. You can't find it in the catalog. You just go online and search online products. So I cut the center out with this one. And another online exclusive along with that crosshatch embossing folder is one called Hobnob Glass. So I decided that this piece would look good embossed with the hobnob glass. There was something about this embossing folder. Of course, you know, I think it goes back to the old glass that our parents used to have that was white and had bumps on the side. I know my grandmother had some candy dishes like that. But also kind of reminded me of the dotted Swiss Easter dresses I used to wear. So this is our inside piece. Let's see how we put it in. First of all, fold on the on your score lines. Okay, now when you're adhering it to the inside, your first fold, this one, you want right next to the front that folds down. So let me burnish this fold line too. This was the 1 inch one on the front. And the reason I said don't burnish it down until you glued your paper to it is because it's harder, it seems to me, to glue paper down to a crease surface. All right, so I'm going to put some glue on this flap. And I like to use the liquid so I have some wiggle room here. So this goes right up next to the fold. Now don't put it on the fold or your card won't fold down. So it goes right up next to the fold. So see, this folds down. Give that a second to dry. And then you're going to fold this down, pull this flap out, and put your adhesive along this flap. And press your top down and hold that for a second. Now, it wasn't that easy. You would think this would be really hard to do, but not when you've got all the folds figured out. So then this pops out like that. You can see from the side, there's our little box that we made. So we've got our inside part there. Okay, so here's our base. Now let's work on these little rabbits. All right, as I said, you're going to stamp your rabbits on this piece that's 2 3/4 by 6. And I have already done that. And I stamped mine in basic gray. I just kind of like the softness of basic gray over black. And then you're going to, and also you need to stamp the little carrot right here because you're going to use the carrot in his hands. See here, he's got the little carrot, holding the carrot in his hands. So you need a carrot and the 3 rabbits. Now I colored my carrot with a pumpkin pie marker, and I colored the top of the carrot with this dark granny apple green. My rabbits, I don't really color the rabbits, but I used light smoky slate, and I like to use the small end. And like I said, I don't really color them. I just outline where I stamped that outline, and gives you the impression of coloring it, and it leaves the bunny white. I also used the dark petal pink on the ears. So just color in this part of the ears. And also give him a little pink bunny nose. Now I'm not going to sit here and color all these bunnies in front of you because I've already done it, of course. And here is the stamp set these came from. It's called Easter Bunny. There's the 3. Here's my Happy Easter cinnamon I used, and here's the carrot. And see, I have them all colored in. Now, there is a punch for one of the bunnies. It's this one on the end. So you just slide it in here, line it up, and give it a punch. I don't like it right there. Let me get it lined up a little bit better. There we go. And there you have your bunny. These two you'll have to freehand cut along with the carrot. Now once you've cut this one out, you also need to do a little slit above the paws and below the paws to get your carrot in there. And by the way, I did stamp all my sentiments with Coastal Cabana ink. Alright, I have some bunnies here. And one other thing I added to my bunnies, I had these little bunny tails in my stash somewhere. I think you could find them in the art department or the kids craft in any of your stores. So here are my bunnies, all colored with their little tails on them. Now the one that's sitting straight forward, see I have my carrot in there and he's ready to eat it. So the ones that are sideways are going to go on the back, on the front, and this one's going to go in the back. So let's just stick him, and that's why I told you to hang on to that circle piece we cut out, because I adhered him to this with dimensionals. And you want to just slip him in here. Just drop him right in the center. And then these two, I have this one, and only put your dimensionals on the bottom part of these rabbits, because the head part really doesn't have anywhere to put a dimensional. It'll be out there and it'll be sticking to the back of your card. So here's one, and then I put the other one facing him on the other side. Now I thought they looked a little, I don't know, floating in the air, not grounded. So I felt like they needed a little grass. So I had this punch from another company, and I found this paper that we have that has like watercoloring, blues and greens, and I cut the green strips and just punched out two of these, and we'll adhere them right here. Sometimes those punches don't want to pop back out, and of course it would do it right here when I'm filming. And there, it works perfect that time. That's the difference in Stampin' Up punches and some of the others. Stampin' Up ones are so much sturdier and work so much better. Alright, let's put a little glue on the back of our grass strip, and we're going to adhere right here below the bunny. In fact, you'll have to glue it to the bunny. And don't get it too low, because if you do, when you fold your card, it will be in the way. It'll crinkle up or come off. Put a little glue along here. Alright, here's our other piece of grass. Let's put it right there. You got to be careful and work around the bunny tail there. Okay, so now we've completed the inside. Isn't this the cutest thing? I can't wait to give it to my grandsons for Easter. Okay, let's finish the front. Now remember, we stamped the sentiment on the white, and it goes into this piece. I love this sentimental part die because these just slip right under the flowers and give it a really pretty look. So here we've got one ready to go. Put some dimensionals on the back, and let's just put it right here in the front. And there we have our card. See, it wasn't that hard, was it? I think anybody could do it, and I hope you'll try it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And until we meet again, happy crafting.